and Nika began watching WWE in January 2025 during the Royal Rumble. Nika is brand new to WWE, while Kenny is returning for the first time in over 20 years. They appreciate your patience as they learn everybody's names and finishers, as well as past events concerning the WWE brand and or characters. They promise they will learn it all in due time.
All right, well, we are turning our attentions to the world of WWE because we have 4 straight days of wrestling, starting with Smackdown this Friday. Then we have Saturday night's main event making its quarterly appearance on Saturday. We have Evolution, the all-women's card, on Sunday. And then on Monday, we, of course, have Monday Night Raw. Nika, holy cow, that's a lot of WWE.
That's a lot of wigs and makeup and costumes.
That's a lot of work for people. Behind the scenes, I bet. Man, those NDAs must be crazy. You must not speak about anything you see.
Must be.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, we have these big events coming up, and we are going to start with our Saturday night's main event prediction show, Nika. And I'm pretty excited for this event, though I do think we are missing a couple matches.
You think they're going to be added later? Or this is going to be a surprise?
Yeah, I wonder if anything's going to... Well, I do expect something to get added at SmackDown tomorrow for sure.
Okay.
Especially maybe with Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu potentially being involved. We know that Jacob lost the title to Solo at the event in Saudi Arabia, and now I'm guessing Jacob is going to want revenge after that last SmackDown where he was left kind of beaten and, by the foursome that Solo has built here.
He needs some reinforcements.
He does, and I think he needs more than just Jimmy Uso. So,
yes.
We'll have to wait and see what happens on SmackDown. We haven't gotten a lot of details at this time as we're recording, but I'm sure as it is Thursday, we will start to get some details throughout the day, and so stay tuned for all that. That's going to be fun to see. But in the meantime, Saturday night is when the main events are going down, so anything that happens on SmackDown tomorrow is most likely going to be set up for either one of these two paid premium live events over the weekend, I should say.
No doubt.
And so, yeah, Saturday night's main event. I kind of went in order of importance here, but I'm going to start with Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre as the matchup that I think will get things going or started off here. I don't know. This matchup kind of just came abruptly out of nowhere after last week when Drew McIntyre made his sort of dramatic return after he left with what I thought was going to be a longer neck injury. So I was pretty surprised to see him, especially because we did not read any spoilers for the taped show that it was last week on SmackDown.
Do you think they had some story going for him now that they're bringing him back?
Well, I hope so. I really hope, that the Damian Priest storyline is over because...
I do too.
For starters, I feel like Drew McIntyre got the short end of the stick of that storyline.
I agree.
For I guess I don't know a lot of reason. It's just my opinion. I don't have any dislike of Damian Priest. I just felt like every single time it was like the Scotsman was getting his ass handed to him in one way or the other. It was, in fact, I think, Backlash where... They had some kind of 4-way match where they went off on their own and Damian Priest slammed Drew McIntyre through a table. Then they have the steel cage match and we saw Drew McIntyre get his head slammed through a chair. So I wish we would have gotten to see a little bit more back and forth with that, even if Damian Priest would have come out ahead. It just seems like Drew's been underutilized. So I hope he's going in some new direction. And the one thing I'll say about this is Randy Orton on the flip side, we just saw him lose to John Cena at Backlash. So, and then he lost to Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions. So I have a hard time seeing Randy Orton drop 3 matches in a row like this, but he also is not the high-profile performer he once was either.
It's an interesting match between these two because both of these guys have been losing on the losing streak,
right.
If you will.
It is. What's going to give first?
Yeah, exactly. And why would you bring Drew McIntyre just to have him lose again, another match?
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling you on that. My gut tells me that this is Drew McIntyre's match to win. It's just my head starts to get in the way when it's like, yeah, but Randy's been losing too, and he's due for a win. This matchup, Nika, which way are you going to go? What are you going to predict?
It's a tough one like I said, two guys that have been on a losing streak. I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Just because he's been absent and they bringing him for a reason, not a punch bag.
Yeah, I agree. I also I look at anything happening right now too as a potential lead in or build up to SummerSlam, and I expect both of these guys to be involved in some aspect of the SummerSlam ticket. Exactly how they fit in, I think, remains to be seen, because neither one of them are going to really be in the title conversations that we've seen.
So this is just a street fight or brawl, if you will.
This is just a regular match as far as I know. And I guess I feel like for much of the same reasons that Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton kicked off Night of Champions, the same thing will happen here. They will kick off this main event because they're both seasoned professionals and performers when it comes to this, and they know how to work a crowd and get them going for the rest of this event. And
so maybe there will be no winner.
it is a possibility, but it's not the way I'm going to go. I'm going to predict that Drew is going to win as well. I just think you are correct that they brought him back for a reason and not to just give Randy Orton a W. As much as it might suck for Randy Orton, hopefully they got him something down the line promised to make up for these losses that they've been handing him in the writer's room. But in the meantime, I got to go with Drew, and I got to give him a W. He's been getting the short end of the stick, even from Royal Rumble, when he supposedly got eliminated too soon. And it was unscripted that he was supposed to go out that way, but it's live, so you got to go with it. He wasn't predicted to win or scripted to win or anything crazy like that, but he was supposed to be in the event a little longer than he was. And apparently behind the scenes, he was very unhappy about it. So
well, that's why he left.
Maybe.
And they brought him back. So the prize for bringing him back.
Well, but that was a long while later.
I know.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All right. Fine. Let's move on, shall we? I'm taking Drew. You're taking Drew.
Yeah.
Sorry, Randy. Nothing personal.
Nope.
All right. Moving on. We have this matchup, which is been brewing, I guess, for the last few weeks on Raw. That's for sure. It is going to be LA Knight taking on Seth freaking Rollins. And this is interesting to say the least. We know Seth is lurking in the background with that Money in the Bank briefcase and waiting for a opportune time to cash in, shall we say. LA Knight, to me, is growing on me. I think I judged him by his name a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I judged him by his name a lot in the beginning, and I thought his name was cheesy, and I still think his name is a little cheesy. But everything else about the character, I love. I absolutely love. And I hope that he continues to get a push in WWE. And maybe let's look at that name.
Yeah.
He sounds like a hockey team, the LA Knights or something,
Yeah, he should go more into cyberpunk direction.
Yes, I think, he should become a choom.
A choom?
He should definitely look into that game and some of the aesthetic language and some of the lexicon for the Cyberpunk 2077 universe. I think you will find that it fits over the top of the LA Knight character.
Absolutely.
Really well, and just a lot more creative use of names as well. Even V is a better name than LA Knight.
I agree.
But this matchup, it's intriguing to me. And LA Knight has been wanting, his fans at least, have been wanting him to get a push. I know that. They think he's underutilized and underused as just a performer in general. I got to admit it. I think he is too, a little bit. He's great on the mic from what I've seen in little action. And, he could be a great counter to the villainous Seth Rollins, if you will. Seth, on the other hand, has not wrestled since Money in the Bank.
Oh, tune-up match.
Definitely looks like and feels like a tune-up match of sorts. We did see him get involved a little bit at the Night of Champions main event, but nothing came of that. He did do a head stomp or two. I don't think he did any crazy wrestling. He did wrestle Penta on Raw this week, which I felt like was a tune-up for this match.
Oh,
and this matchup might be, a tune-up for something at SummerSlam, perhaps. Saturday night's main event is a chance for people to get featured on NBC and kind of show themselves to a wider audience, if you will. So having said that, Nico, who do you think it benefits more for WWE to push in front of a mainstream audience? Do you think that they are going to give LA Knight the win on national TV to give him a boost in profile over a character like Seth Rollins? Or do you think Seth Rollins needs this win to kind of keep his villainous streak going and probably winning with some shady antics, right?
Yes, from a story perspective, as the Empire Strike First, Seth Rollins will get the push.
Yes.
But from a matchup, I think LA Knight might win this one just to get the gig going.
Interesting. So you think he'll get the push on the national spotlight a little bit because, let's be honest, I don't think Seth Rollins needs it. And we've seen this argument a lot before from people in WWE. Like, I don't know why they gave this person the win when this person needs the push. I'm going to go in a different direction, though. I think Seth Rollins is going to take the W in this one for the reasons I just mentioned. You know, it is a mainstream audience, and it's a chance for the villain
Okay, I
to come
buy
out
that.
on top and in a moment and show off the drama in WWE
But
as
is
well.
he gonna get a clean win, or was
No.
his posse's gonna come in and help him? Because I'm leaning towards that.
His posse or his wise man or even his briefcase might make an appearance and cause some antics. You know,
Yes.
Seth Rollins won against Penta without any outside interference, but he also delivered a low blow to his groin as storylines go.
Yep.
And that was clearly listed as the reason for his victory on Monday Night Raw over Penta. So it's always a reason, right? And so I do think he's gonna win in this matchup because also, if you remember on Monday Night Raw, LA Knight came down and got the best of him. And so
yeah.
when you come out and say the Empire strikes first and then LA Knight strikes next, you know what that means. It's time for the pendulum to swing back in the other direction. So I'm going villain.
Okay.
I'm going with Seth.
Okay, I'm going with Seth. No, I'm going with LA Knight. Ah, damn it.
Did I just talk you out of it?
A little bit.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to.
No,
I like your reasoning too. You know, I think I can buy it. I can buy that LA Knight could benefit from a push in front of a national audience. So, and I wouldn't hate that either. I want to be honest. I'm just going with my gut and thinking that.
Either that or there will be no winner declared because of some disqualification.
Yeah, there could be a DQ. You know, I just think
Just to keep it interesting.
when it's Saturday night's main event, they really want the pin to go down. Raw and SmackDown is like DQ headquarters. you see a lot more higher percentage of disqualifications or, you know,
Shenanigans.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Well, we are not done. We have a title match on the line at Saturday night's main event, and this is probably the highest profile match of the evening. And I don't know what to make of how this match is going to go, Nika. But we have Gunther, the reigning world heavyweight champion, defending against the legend, the Hall of Famer, Goldberg. Goldberg, as the crowd will be chanting, I'm sure.
I'm sure they will. Unfortunately, I don't see Goldberg winning this match. It just makes no sense in my mind for this character to win a championship at his age. What is he going to do? Defend against some 20, 30-year-old later?
I'm having a tough time seeing how Goldberg winning does anything for the current WWE roster.
Okay.
This feels like fantasy fights, you know, like where you have Muhammad Ali against Mike Tyson or some kind of dream fantasy fight that never could have existed because of time and space and everything else that's related to physics.
It's a video game.
It's a video game fight. And that's what this feels like, is a chance to make a marquee video game fight, you know? It seems like the plot of like Rocky 6 or something, where he saw himself in a video game fight and was like, yeah, I could still do it.
Right.
Okay.
Then the reality comes in.
Yeah, it did. You know, the training was not
Also,
easy in those
exactly.
later movies.
But you know what? Goldberg did sucker punch Gunther previously.
I will give Goldberg credit. We saw him come out like 5 weeks ago when this matchup was first announced. And then we saw him this past Monday on Raw, I think for the first time since then. And I thought he looked 100% better.
He did.
Like whatever he's been doing in between these 4 or 5 weeks,
Hitting the gym.
it is noticeable. He probably has not been eating as much pasta because his waistline looks better and his shoulders look broader, you know?
Okay.
And that can be an optical illusion, but that could just mean a smaller waistline. And I think that benefits anything for this matchup of Goldberg looking the part will help sell it. As much as that might be unfair at his age to demand or to request as a watcher or a viewer. I won't lie that it will help sell whatever illusion that is created from these two going at it with each other.
Oh, they're going with the nostalgia on this one.
Well, like we said, it's a video game fight.
Yeah.
That's always going to be nostalgia. It would be like watching Barry Bonds come back today and see if he could hit home runs.
Can he?
I don't know. Maybe if he has some juice.
Orange or different kind?
Oh, good one, Nika. Well, anyways, I hear your reasoning. I hear what you're saying. So just to
Gunther
make it
for me.
official, you're going with Gunther.
I like my Austrians ancestry.
Well, you're kind of from nearby, right?
No, Polish, German. Well, who cares? Close enough.
Somewhere in there. I am also going to go with Gunther. I think he has nothing to gain by losing the belt to Goldberg. Not just him, but the whole WWE.
And
like
even,
who's Goldberg going to wrestle then at SummerSlam? Like,
exactly. Is Jey Uso going to come after Goldberg?
are they going to bring Hogan back or something? Like
Oh,
I that's what I mean. I don't need it. You know, I don't.
We
need
got to
it.
move on.
The one night for fun is. I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Triple H wants to have a fantasy matchup like every year, you know, and be like, I'm going to pick a Hall of Famer to go up against a current.
They should call that though.
Yeah, the Triple
fantasy.
H choice. You know, we have the commissioner's choice for the All-Star game.
Yeah.
We can have Triple H's choice. Just a thought, just a suggestion. Instead of going through all these theatrics and yeah, it is what it is. It's a fantasy video game fight, and Gunther's gonna win, and he's gonna have a title defense match at SummerSlam also. You know, and who he's gonna fight there, I don't know yet, because I think a lot needs to get sorted out this weekend.
Yeah.
And then we might have a better idea of who is going to be available to challenge him, whether Jey Uso gets round 3, because I think he deserves it. Gunther certainly wanted a second chance at the title, so why wouldn't Jey in that sense? And I also am a fan of rubber matches, you know? Like, they each have one victory against each other in the form of a submission. So I think a rubber match is appropriate.
I agree.
That's why I'm choosing Gunther to defend against Goldberg successfully, so he can have that rubber match with our guy, the Yeet, Jey Uso.
And Goldberg can retire.
Again. I'm good with this matchup as a one-off. I don't want to see it really prolonged into SummerSlam and beyond. But I had this thought earlier, and I'm glad I remembered it now. What if Dirty Dom's doctor's note expires on Saturday and AJ Styles gets his Intercontinental Championship belt matchup? That's one maybe small minor prediction for a matchup that could get added.
So
it
they
was
can bring
originally listed as a Night of Champions event, and then it was scratched for what I think is being called legitimate injury news to Dirty Dom.
Okay. Well,
But I don't think it was expected to be long either. So
I can see that coming back and being announced.
yeah, I could too.
But I do hope they add a women match, so it's not just a sausage fest one day and the cat fights on the next day.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this Saturday night's main event preview prediction show. It was a lot of fun talking about these 3 matchups that we have so far and speculating about what might or might not get added to the card.